Hello everyone, I'm MW3 from Psychic Gamers, and today I'm playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and the game mode is Infected. Now, I did the little commentary yesterday about the news that Infected was being added into community playlists, and I gave you all the details of the different variations and everything, all the maps, weapons, stuff like that. You know, it was fairly interesting. And today, all of those facts became a reality, and the game mode is now in public rotations. You can go on there now if you so wish and go and play Infected. I have to say, it's good fun, very good fun. I knew it was good fun because I played it in private, but it's excellent that I can just jump into a game whenever I want now. And yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant game mode. I thoroughly recommend it if you haven't played it. The games are very short and sweet. The timer is a maximum of 5 minutes, but the games, as long as somebody isn't in a glitch spot, which I'll deal with in either later this commentary, or I'll go into detail in another commentary. Unless they're in a glitch spot, these games usually only last about 3 minutes, and that's absolutely brilliant. I hate games that drag on, so you can just play for a little bit and it's a lot of fun. I'm not going to talk about the game, I'm not going to commentate a game. I'm going to show some gameplay in the background, probably more than one game. In fact, definitely more than one game, because the clips I've got are very short. Instead, I'm going to talk about what I think of the mode as a whole now that it's released and you can actually play it. As I said before, it's short, sweet, simple, fun. No kill streaks to worry about. Everybody really moves around. I mean, the survivors, you can camp it out. As you can see in this first gameplay clip here, I'm trying to camp on top of this little shop thing because I'm trying to see how effective it is. And to be honest, I was trying to get some Moabs in this, but of course I don't get anywhere near. I get like 3 kills because I still haven't worked out whether you can get a Moab in this mode, and I really want to find out if you can. Surprisingly, for Modern Warfare 3, they've actually dealt with camping rather well, because in the Knife vs Striker 1, the Infected have a throwing knife, so even if you're sitting in some spot somewhere, somebody will probably pick you up with a throwing knife. I've done it a couple of times because it's incredibly funny to just chuck this knife like a fair distance and kill somebody with it. I can imagine they weren't very happy when they were watching the kill cam, but that stops them camping. Additionally, in the 44 Magnum variation, you don't have a lot of bullets at all. You have the initial 12 and then 18 extra, so you can reload 3 times if you're camping. If you're playing the game like you should be and running around, and you'll be able to reload more, obviously, because you've got Scavenger. The way to play it as a survivor seems to be to pick a pretty decent spot to camp it out in, and then wait for people to come to you. You can run around, you know, you have the choice to run around, but you are likely to get infected, and if that's not how you want to play it, if you don't want to be infected, then you need to pick a fairly decent spot that you can defend easily. Luckily, because all the Modern Warfare 3 maps are basically circles, there's multiple entrances into pretty much everything. They got fairly paranoid about camping in this game, even though camping is quite rife in multiplayer. If you know where people are, and especially when you've got tactical insertions like in Infected, then you can easily find another entrance to find these guys and kill them. I know in the last commentary when I was talking about it before it released, I was saying how it's much better with more people, and Infinity Ward seemed to have realised that, and the lobbies aren't standard 12 person lobbies. They are ground war style 18-person lobbies, so there's a lot of people in these lobbies, increasing the amount of fun and hectic action that's going on, and that was a really good design choice, I think, even if it does cause a little bit of lag here and there. On to answering my questions from yesterday, my sort of rhetorical questions that I was asking myself. No, kill streaks cannot be used because obviously your classes are limited and kill streaks are not in those classes. I haven't yet worked out if a Moab can be used because I haven't got anywhere near that many kills, and I haven't seen anybody get that many kills. I think the highest I've seen somebody get is like about 15. I mean, he was fairly close considering what most people get in this game, but he wasn't anywhere near a Moab. I have no doubt that fairly soon, perhaps even already because I haven't really searched for it, but fairly soon someone on the YouTube community will come out with a video that will be the first Moab in Infected, or the first proof that you cannot get a Moab in Infected, one of the two, and I'll be interested to see that because I don't think I'm going to get that score anytime soon. And the last really cool feature that they've implemented is when it's the last guy, I don't think it starts straight away, but after a little while the radar starts going. So even if they're camping it out really hard in the corner somewhere, you'll be able to see them as a red dot on the radar. That is really, really useful because I've had a couple of times when I was running a private match when people would just hide somewhere. They wouldn't be interested in getting the kills, but they didn't be interested in being the last guy and annoying people with how long it takes to find them. So they just sit somewhere in a really, really inconspicuous place, like hidden right in the corner somewhere, and you wouldn't be able to find them. So implementing the radar for the last guy was a really good idea. I can't really say much more other than it's fairly well thought out and it's a lot of fun to play. Now, it isn't all good, unfortunately. Like everything ever with any Call of Duty, there are some problems with it, which I'll just go through. And there are a fair few. Some of them are more important than others, but I'll tell you all that I thought of. The first thing is quite a bit of a disappointment to me. I know there was a lot of speculation going around as to whether the community playlist would be fully rotating and they'd kick off drop zone and just leave infected, or whether they were adding infected. Now unfortunately it did rotate, so infected is the only game mode in it. Drop zone is gone. I don't know whether it's coming back. Irritatingly, the little description thingy that's like community playlist still says includes drop zone, which is just adding insult to injury, because I quite like drop zone and I wanted to go play it actually again while I was thinking about it, but now I can't unless I get in a private match, so that annoyed me a lot. The only good thing to come out of it is the possibility that some of the other private game modes, such as One in the Chamber or Gun Game, may go into a public community playlist game mode. However, as soon as they go in, we know we're losing infected now, so I'm sort of wanting them to come in but not wanting them to come in simultaneously. Modern Warfare 3's knife mechanics come under quite a lot of scrutiny here. They are very inconsistent, I have to say. Sometimes you can sort of knife absolutely miles, like you've got Commando on and it's Modern Warfare 2. Sometimes you could be right next to someone and it just inexplicably misses. But you know, you can deal with that. When everybody's running at a person with a knife, I'm sure one of them will be able to get them. This complaint isn't really about the game mode itself, but more about the lobbies. This could be very easily rectified, and I hope they do change this. The intermission between modes, between games, is the standard 60-second timer. Now, when these game modes only last for a maximum of 5 minutes, I don't want to be spending an extra minute waiting for the next game. It's not like I need a minute to go and take a toilet break or something after a 20-minute domination match. I don't need to have a minute break between each match. I just want to get into the next one. I think they should reduce the time down to 30 seconds. This gives people time to like run off and, I don't know, do something if they really want to. But what most people want to do is get straight into the next game, or if they need a break from it, they'll just quit out. They don't need a 1 minute timer in this game when the games are so short. I shouldn't be spending this much time waiting. To be fair, if you were really, really rapid in one of these games, you could probably spend the same amount of time waiting for the next game to start as you did playing the previous game. I can't remember which one of the Juggernaut ones it is. I think it's Juggernaut versus MK46. This is extremely slow paced, and for the people that aren't Juggernauts, which I think are the infected, basically it's impossible for them. I've only played in a couple of those modes because they don't get picked very often, and all that happens is we went like 15 and 3, so only 3 people had been infected and the rest of them were still Juggernauts, because that game is really, really, really hard to infect people when there's 17 Juggernauts, or sorry, 16, because the initial infected is a Juggernaut as well, so they've got at least a slightly fair fight. When there's 16 Juggernauts bearing down on just 2 people that aren't Juggernauts, they're never going to win that fight. The next one is that the one that's the .44 Magnum versus a knife. Because they don't have a throwing knife, this means this mode is prone for camping a lot more than the striker one, because although you can camp in the striker one, throwing knives can normally take people out from a distance. So I know it was a design decision not to put in the throwing knife in that mode, but maybe they should put it back in to prevent camping a bit. Another thing that I was talking about yesterday was the perks that you get, and you do get the perks that they specified that you get. However, none of them are pro unless you personally have that perk pro, which I think is a bit stupid. So I've just prestiged again to 2nd prestige, and I'm only like rank 13 or 14. May have got up to about 15 or 16 by now. I can't really remember. I don't really care, but I'm quite low down, and I don't use quick draw very often as a perk. I usually use either hardline or assassin, depending on whether I'm going stealth or sort of running around trying to get kill streaks. So I don't use quick draw, so I don't have it pro, which means I don't get the benefit of being able to lay down tactical insurgents quicker. Now the only reason I realised this is watching one of the kill cams when I got killed. I saw the guy like really placing down the tactical insurgent really quickly, and I was thinking, hang on, I don't get that. But when I looked at his perk list in the kill cam, he had them all pro, and he was a higher rank than me, so he obviously has them pro. So what I'm saying here is, if you don't have them pro, you don't get them pro and infected, even though they give it to you in a custom, in a default class. Sorry. I think they should change this personally so everyone gets pro perks, because that's a little bit unfair, I think, especially when it comes to quick draw pro and scavenger pro, because you're going to be starting with more mags than the people that don't have the pro variation. Another complaint is people joining the game in progress. Now I don't really get why they allowed this. I mean, I know a lot of people could like rage quit if they get infected or something. I mean, I don't know why you do that. I don't find it that big a deal to get infected. In fact, when I was playing this privately, I used to try and get infected after a little while, because it's quite fun running around with a tactical knife, or at least I think it is. I mean, I can understand that people play this game differently to me and don't enjoy it, but I normally see this scoreboard drop down like with the player count, and then people come back in. So what can happen is somebody will be the last survivor, and you'll run up and kill them and be like, yes, I got the final kill cam, especially if you've got it with a throwing knife, which I like to do because it looks cool. However, then you find out that somebody else has joined in just as you're about to kill him, so you don't get the reward of having the final kill cam. I know people are you're thinking that's ridiculous, but that's how I think. I think they might, or they should limit. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't let people join, but when it comes down to like, say 3 people remaining, I don't think they should let people join. There should be a cap on it, especially if there's one person remaining and then suddenly somebody else just randomly joins in. That's just irritating for both the person that's left remaining and the infected people that are trying to get the final kill. And the very last thing I could think of, and this is an actual problem, not just something that I want to complain about, because that's how I personally feel. This problem is glitch spots. Now I know a couple of maps were taken out because there were some spots that people thought were overpowered. I assume this is why they're taken out. This is what I've heard the reason they've taken out. But I have seen, and I knew the community would come up with it because it's the Call of Duty community. What can you expect? They just find the worst things and exploit them. But I've seen a couple of spots that only have one way to get to, and a lot of them are actual glitch spots, so it's pretty hard to get into them. So if you're in the 44 Magnum variation, you're not going to be able to get people. So I'm probably going to make a video on that called like infected glitch spots. I mean, people can go and take them and use them if they so wish to, or perhaps the people at Infinity Ward will see it and say, we need to fix these spots. Either way, I don't really care, but I just want to point out all these spots that people are abusing. And the very last thing is the announcement of another couple of videos, or one of them's a little series of videos, one of them's just a video. The first one is a series of 4 live commentaries of each of the 4 infected game mode variations. It's the first time I ever played them, and I give you my opinion on them live. And the second one is a tips and tricks video, not just the glitch spots that I'm going to do in the glitch spot video, but a couple of tricks that I've picked up playing this. And one of them is actually really good that probably a lot of people won't realise about. So if that left you on a cliffhanger, but you'll just have to wait until I actually record together that video and you'll be able to see what I was talking about. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, rate it. If you didn't enjoy it, rate it, and comment and subscribe if you haven't, and you know, all that stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. See you next time, guys. Here, take a look at this clip. I didn't really have anywhere to put it in the video because I need to commentate on what's happening to actually show you what the hell actually happens, because it's really bizarre. There's only 4 guys left, so I'm running along here and I'm like, where is everybody? I see a red dot over there, so I run along, see these chickens, I was like, screw you chickens, I'm going to stab you. Bam! That's not a chicken, that's a guy, square in the back, plus 200 infected. Yeah.